The great paradox of the sunrise in New Zealand. Have you ever wondered why a land wakes up first to the sun? In the far southeast of the Pacific Ocean, New Zealand stands quietly. It is like a challenge to time itself. Sunrise wakes up here, before anywhere else on Earth. Today we explore this great paradox together. Why do people wake up in the cold? Why do they climb mountains in the dark? Just to see the first light touch the land? Is it possible that, in this wild isolated nature, the sunrise in New Zealand is the most powerful ritual? It wakes up the deepest peace inside tired souls, right in the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean, where the distance to the rest of humanity is a whole ocean. There seems to be one of the deepest paradoxes of nature. How can a remote land, so isolated that it is called the farthest place on Earth, become a sacred place? Hundreds of thousands of people come every year just to see one moment of first light. Our journey today will go through three main layers. The first layer uncovers the great paradox between its special location as the first in the world and the inner survival strength it gives. New Zealand becomes an unbreakable anchor. It welcomes the light before all humanity, to remind us of a new beginning every day. The second layer shows the power of beautiful natural landscapes. The third layer reaches the highest level of cultural meaning and spiritual healing. Here sunrise is not just light. It is a strong declaration that connects to the ancient Maori soul. It becomes the deepest medicine to clean the modern chaotic world. Before we let our minds sink into the sacred beauty of this land, please leave a like and subscribe right now. This will open the door for you to follow the full journey. Have you ever seen a sunrise that made your whole soul shake strongly? Please comment and share below. I really want to read your true stories. Sunrise is not just the first light of a day. It is a sacred reminder that every moment can become the eternal awakening of the soul. Part 1. The Great Paradox and the Unbreakable Anchor. Let us begin our journey. The anthropological lens must face a modern society picture that attacks the whole human senses and soul most fiercely. In the era where everything is measured by speed, speed of connection, speed of response, speed of consumption, people are living in a 24/7 loop of survival. Screens stay bright all the time. Notifications never stop. Deadlines press down hard. Success is measured by likes, views, followers. New Zealand often ranks in the top 12 happiest countries. But these numbers hide a deep paradox. Behind the green and peaceful image, millions of souls still feel exhausted. Right in the heart of the vast Pacific Ocean, New Zealand stands quietly like a challenge to time. It is one of the first lands on Earth to receive light each day. Not because it is rich or crowded, but because of its special location, near the international dateline. And here Maunga Hikurangi, the sacred mountain in the Gisborne region, is officially recognized as the first point on New Zealand mainland to welcome the sunrise. According to Maori legend of the Ngāti Porou people, when the demigod Maui used his giant fish hook, Maunga Hikurangi was the first place to rise above the water. Every year thousands of people, from busy businessmen in Tokyo, engineers in Silicon Valley, to tired souls from Europe, do not hesitate to wake up in the middle of the night. They drive for hours in the dark, then climb the rough trail in freezing cold, just to stand on the summit. This action is no longer tourism. It has become a necessary survival mechanism. In a society that always pushes us to be always online, always efficient, always moving forward, the choice to leave a warm bed, turn off all devices, and stand quietly in the absolute darkness of wild nature is the strongest wall of protection. It takes away the power of senses. controlled by the virtual world. It cuts the connection with modern illusions. Notifications pressure comparison. Like a lotus flower rising from muddy water. The sunrise pilgrim does not run away from reality. They face it by choosing a more original beginning. When all the noise of modern life is silenced. When darkness covers everything. And only breath and mountain wind remain. A state of absolute stillness is created. That moment turns a small person, struggling in the digital world, into an unbreakable being. The first person on earth to welcome a completely new day. The determination to wake up early. For the sunrise at Mangahikurangi is a silent but greatest rebellion against the attention economy and speed. While the modern world is proud of multitasking and non-stop work, those who choose the sunrise in New Zealand prove that stopping completely to anchor the mind in the first moment is the real peak of inner power. Have you ever felt so exhausted that you were willing to wake up in the middle of the night, travel thousands of kilometers, just to have one sunrise moment that truly belongs to you? Please share your honest and deep thoughts in the comments below. The greatest power of a human being does not lie in conquering thousands of notifications and the speed of the modern world. It is forged through the courage to keep the absolute silence of the soul and become the first person on earth to welcome the light of a completely new day. Part 2: The power of beautiful natural landscapes and the reshaping of the brain. Let us go deeper. The power of the sunrise in New Zealand is not just a beautiful visual moment. It is actually a wonderful surgery by nature itself to reshape the whole brain system and awaken the deepest original energy flow inside human beings. In modern society, people are trapped by artificial blue light from screens. Cortisol stress stays high for 24 hours, causing burnout, anxiety, and rising depression. The sunrise in New Zealand brings the original golden light, the strongest and most healing light from nature. Just 20 to 30 minutes of direct contact can reduce cortisol by 30%. At the same time, it strongly releases serotonin, the happiness hormone, and dopamine. This brings deep calm, better focus, and clearly reduces depression symptoms. This is the highest level of neuroplasticity being activated. The brain is sculpted again. The prefrontal cortex becomes thicker. The ability to control emotions and show compassion to all things rises in a wonderful way. And nowhere in the world is the natural landscape so perfect that it turns this moment into a true rebirth ritual like in New Zealand. Imagine you are standing on the top of Roy's Peak after climbing in the cold dark. Below your feet is Lake Wakatipu, calm like a mirror, reflecting the first rays of light that paint the southern Alps pink. Or at Lake Tekapo, an international dark sky reserve, the sunrise turns the turquoise lake into a giant mirror. Aoraki Mount Cook rises like a god waking up, with pink-orange clouds mixing with pure white snow. At Nugget Point or Tasman Lake, strange rock formations and melting glacier rivers under the sunrise create a picture so alive that people hold their breath. When you stand in this wild space, all worries from the virtual world disappear. Breath mixes with mountain wind. Light touches the retina. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated. That moment becomes the strongest biological antidote. The brain is no longer overloaded with trash information. It is healed. It is expanded. It is reconnected to the original rhythm of the universe. To keep the passion for exploring these deep healing values from New Zealand nature alive, please leave a like and subscribe right now. Your sincere support will be the precious motivation that helps us build a stronger, conscious, and healing community together. In a modern health system that overuses chemical drugs to calm exhausted souls, is returning to the original sunrise of New Zealand. where nature itself reshapes the brain and soul. The most root-level wise and greatest healing method of humanity? Have you ever felt the real power of the sunrise in New Zealand, changing your mind and body? Please share your deep thoughts in the comment section. The greatest healing of a human life is never bought with expensive sleeping pills or high-tech therapy. It is always created in the moment. A person dares to stand in wild nature, letting the original sunrise light touch the deepest soul and reshape the structure of their own brain. Part 3. The Maori cultural connection and the awakening of the soul. Now we turn to the highest level. The art of watching the sunrise in New Zealand is no longer limited to physical healing or brain rebuilding. It is actually the most powerful ritual to awaken the great connecting thread between the small universe inside a person and the vast universe of Wen Yue and Vakapapa. In modern society that is sinking in an invisible loneliness epidemic, where people connect with thousands on screens, but feel emptier than ever, the sunrise in New Zealand becomes the strongest declaration of resistance. It reminds us that humans are not isolated individuals. We are an inseparable part of the eternal flow between earth, sky, and ancestors. At Maunga Hikurangi, the sacred mountain 1,752 meters high of the Ngāti Porou people, hundreds of visitors and locals join the Te Arunga 2 Sunrise Tour, led by Ngāti Porou themselves. They wake up at midnight. They travel by 4WD on the sacred trail. Then they stand among 9 giant carved pu pillars, listening to ancient karakia prayers echoing in the mountain wind. According to Maori legend, this is the place where the demigod Maui used his giant hook to pull the North Island from the sea. Maunga Hikurangi was the first point to rise above the water. The moment the first ray of light touches the pu pillars, paints the Rakamara Range in the Tairāwhiti Sea pink. It is not just scenery. It is the moment humans truly perform a small death of the individual ego. Like the teaching in Te Ao Marama, the world of light, sunrise is not to own. It is to let go. Let go of the arrogance of individualism. Let go of the fear of being left behind. Let go of the protective shell that modern society taught us to wear. Research from the Mental Health Foundation of New Zealand shows that just one time witnessing such a sacred sunrise greatly reduces the feeling of isolation. It strongly increases gratitude and the sense of belonging. The brain moves into a deep alpha state. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated at maximum level, and the heart opens naturally. The highest freedom in Maori culture, and in the sunrise moment in New Zealand, does not lie in conquering or owning. It lies in the ability to completely let go of the arrogance of the ego and melt into the vastness of creation. When the thin line between the observer and the sunrise is erased, the exhausted soul truly awakens and touches the state of eternal peace. In a world that always encourages us to say, "I am unique. I must stand out," is the choice to stand in darkness. Listen to the ancestors' karakia and let the first light of humanity touch the soul. The most sacred and greatest path of liberation that humanity is longing for? Have you ever felt the soul awakening when witnessing a sacred sunrise? Please share your deepest reflections in the comment section. The greatest freedom of a human life is never measured by conquering thousands of peaks of fame or followers on social media. It is carved in the moment the soul gently lets go of the ego and completely melts into the sacred sunrise and the eternal Vakapapa flow of Mother Earth. Conclusion: the declaration of awakening before eternity. We have now closed the entire journey. Together we have witnessed one of the harshest yet most beautiful survival truths of modern humanity. From the paradox between the first and the world location, and the unbreakable anchor of Maunga Hikurangi, to the power that reshapes the brain and releases serotonin, From landscapes as breathtaking as Roy's Peak Lake to Capo or Nugget Point. And the soul awakening through Karakia carved pu. And the eternal Vakapupa of the Maori people at Tauranga too. All of this comes together into the strongest and most living declaration that Earth gives to humankind. In a society that locks itself in an epidemic of loneliness, crazy speed, endless notifications, and the fear of being left behind, the sunrise in New Zealand is not just a beautiful moment to take photos. It is the most sacred, brave, and ruthless rebellion of the soul. It is a direct challenge to every manipulating algorithm, every fake success measure, every protective shell we built around ourselves. The choice to leave a warm bed, turn off all devices, step into freezing darkness, and stand on the mountaintop, to become the first person on Earth to welcome the light, is the most powerful act of resistance a human can do in this era. When the soul has been bathed in that original light, all pressure, all fear, all comparison disappear. You are no longer a victim of the chaotic world. You become the master. You carry that sacred awakening fire back and light up your real life in the middle of the noisy city. This is the peak of freedom. This is the real power of the sunrise in New Zealand. And if the 20-minute journey just now has touched deep into your soul, if you feel the call from this majestic land echoing inside your heart, then this is the destined moment. Please hit like right now, as a strong vow that you choose to awaken instead of continuing to sleep. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we can continue the next healing, awakening, and great journeys together. Not just to listen but to truly change life. Please share this video immediately with everyone who is exhausted, lost, or needs a new beginning. Because every share is a new sunrise flame lit in the darkness of humanity. Your strong and sincere support today is the sacred energy that helps us build a community of brave souls who never stop awakening in the storm of this era. Before we close, please leave a comment right now. Honest, deep, and strongest. What are you ready to do from today to welcome your own sunrise? Whether in New Zealand or right inside your own soul, the greatest peak of a human life is never measured by material achievements or fleeting fame in the chaotic world. It is carved forever in the moment the soul dares to stand in the freezing darkness of creation, becomes the first person on Earth to welcome the light, and carries that sacred awakening fire back to light up its real life. Thank you for walking bravely and fully with us on this journey. May each of us soon find and always keep our own sunrise.